Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. Hope you're doing well, keeping out of mischief. Right, so first off, before we get into this craziness that's going on in Greenland and all that kind of malarkey, first off, bit of housekeeping, okay? And this is not me moaning and like, right? There's always unforeseen circumstances with YouTube and new tools that they bring out and stuff like that. And I've noticed this for a couple of months now. But there seems to be, and other YouTubers are talking about it now, thankfully, as well. So it's not just Billy No Mates over here. It's like others are being affected. But it seems that with membership videos, because when a video is promoted to you, the first couple of hours of it being released into the wild is taking into account. So that's when you see the thumbnails. Is it relevant to your account? How well has it performed out of the gate? That kind of stuff. There's multitude of different things, okay? So as soon as you started, others have started a membership on YouTube, suddenly you have videos that are by design, by their nature, getting less views on the same account that is also getting a reasonable amount of views. So they take the past and all this kind of stuff and the video and the thing. So that this seems to be an ongoing saga, that the more we've got this kind of two-tier, shockingly enough, amount of videos on the channel, the more it's detrimental to the reach. People are not getting, like, if they're subscribed, they're not getting notifications and all that kind of shenanigans, like stuff, right? Because the algorithm is like, oh, this, previously that video did absolutely rubbish, so I'm not going to push this as far. Broad strokes, but basically that's what's going on. So it's getting to a point, even though I do like the idea that, and I've like hitched my bandwagon on the concept that one account for you, you have the choice to get additional content, material, malarkey, that kind of thing. It's getting to the point where it's like, I've got to review the situation and find other alternatives, and like possibly looking into a Patreon and then putting that stuff over there and like having it separate and that kind of malarkey, because YouTube cannot be trusted. Whoa. But I don't want to, because I really do like the concept, but in reality it doesn't. So I'm just telling you, keep an eye out, that kind of thing. Yeah, just so you know, keep you abreast of the situation. So let's have a butcher's at this whole Greenland thing. I'm getting really, over the weekend, I was getting a little bit miffed about this whole thing. Okay. Because everyone's just like, oh, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. Like EU, NATO, UK, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Bearing in mind, they've all, like, Trump has repeatedly said the reasons why. And this is broad strokes, but here we go, okay? Because obviously, truth doesn't matter at the moment. So, Trump noticed that Russia and China, ships and subs and all that kind of stuff, are in like territorial waters of Greenland. Greenland is owned rightly or wrongly by Denmark. So he's like, Denmark, sort your crap out. Will you defend the bit of like your land that you've got up there, kind of thing, which is bigger than the actual original country. But I digress. As we all know, Denmark went no, which is questionable in itself, in my humble opinion. But let's keep going. So then Trump goes, all right, okay, let's start negotiating then, because quite frankly, you can't be bothered to do your job, Denmark, to protect your territorial waters, your territory, that kind of stuff. Right. So for security reasons, you'll hear this a lot, haven't we? for security reasons, we need to take over Greenland. All right. Then all crap explodes and craziness and shenanigans, and everybody's like virtue signaling and kind of, oh, well, but we're the nice guys. Oh, what are you doing, Trump? You're bad. Oh, bad Trump. So he's basically said, and we've said this before, is like Trump has literally said, if you can't be bothered to protect your land, I'll do it for you. Broad strokes, basically what he said. Fast forward, then obviously UK Starmer, who allegedly was the Trump whisperer. Remember, like a couple of weeks ago, that I've got the year of Trump, whacking people. I'm doing very important whacking people. I'm a genius whacking people. I am the Trump whisperer whacking people. He's been slapped down. Could have seen that from a mile off. Could have seen that plank being slapped down very quickly. So all of a sudden now he's got to keep face. It's like, oh, this is very concerning. Oh, all they need to do is send a few ships around Greenland. That's all they need to do. Protect their territory. Okay? So instead, what they've decided to do, as you may have noticed in the news, is that they instead sent personnel. I don't know if they were laminating them first to make them waterproof, but they sent personnel like excuse me, 30 from Germany, couple from France, blah blah blah, and one from the UK, because that guy's that's gonna be the game changer, Stuttery Starmer. That's the one that's really gonna make the difference. Jeez. So what? So then we're left in this situation that we're trying to prevent Russia and Chinese submarines and ships to being in the territory. What are these people who are foot-based, going to do? What? Swim out and stop the ships? What are they going to do? And then within 44 hours, they could, like, you just can't make this up. Within 44 hours of Germany deploying their lot, the biggest contingent, they brought them home. So what was that virtue signalling all about? What was that all about? In the meanwhile, you've got Mark Cheney, whatever his face is, Prime Minister. How he got to Prime Minister of Canada? He was crap as Governor of Bank of England. He's there going, oh, we have more in common. We've aligned more in line with China than anyone else, than America and stuff. And then you've got couple that. So basically, you've got European leaders basically purposely ignoring that as well. Russian and Chinese doing dodgy up north. You've got Cheney next door to it doing a strategic deal because they're like more in alignment with China somehow. Excuse me. My throat was tickling while I was talking about this. And it's like, so no one's going to mention the fact that by saying all this, all leaders, EU, NATO, France, well, the same problem for me, all this lot, Denmark, Sweden, blah, 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 you're all aligning basically to China. Why? Why are you doing that? What is going on? So that's what this reading's all about. Okay, broad strokes, but that's basically where we're at right now as I'm recording this. Meanwhile, the history of Denmark and what they've done to the indigenous people of Greenland is horrific. And no wonder they like the Greenland. Is that how you pronounce it? Greenland? Anyway, I've seen it written. I've never said it out loud. Them lot obviously want independence, but they're in a dangerous situation now where they can't really, not to talk you down, guys, but you can't cope with independence right now because shenanigans are going on. So, dear oh dear, oh dear. And then on top of that, cherry on top for Starry Starmer and his ilk is like, I did say hypocrisy is going to be so transparent these days, so blatantly obvious these days. Chagos people, no vote. Greenland should have a vote, should have a say. Interesting. Yeah. Oh my days, honestly. Anyway, so what's going on with Greenland right now? What's happening right now, and all that good stuff. We've got all the players now in, and there's so many of them. So bear with me. This may get a bit complicated, but we now know all the players, even though you have to question, why is mainstream media not talking about the actual threat from Russia and China? China, that's the problem, right? Follow your intuition. Death. Oh, and everyone keeps promoting around in the last couple of months about new world orders, and it's like, really? Are you just trying to put a red flag out for a raging bull of conspiracy theorists? Is this what you're trying to do now? Oh dear, they're crazy, and these are the nice guys. So, High Priestess. Follow intuition. Death. This is a rebirth, reborn, renewal. If you wanted to be conspiracy about it, that would be your new world order. But that's like new alignments, new way things, getting rid of partners, gaining new partners, blah, blah, blah. Seven of Cups, how they want to go. Notice that the owl is like independent. I was going to say turn their back, but no, it's more independent. The Raven, have we agreed that is looking to the Seven of Cups. What do we do now? What do we do now? What do we do now? But they're very determined, whatever it is. So at the moment, this here is the elites. This here is kind of you and me and the broad strokes of history I've just said. Okay? So this is fascinating to me. It's almost as if they've been waiting for an excuse to and now how are we going to move along on this? Isn't it also interesting that, is it this week or next week? I haven't fully woken up. I can't remember. I think it's this week. Maybe it's not. They said 2 weeks. Maybe it is next week. Davos, WEF, all them, expensive skiing holidays type thing. All the usual shenanigans. Interesting timing. Empress. That feels like Trumpy Trump. Holds. Well, obviously, the Empress is surrounded by the fruits of their labour, their harvest. Okay, what does that really mean? The skills, mindset, knowledge base, understandings, concepts, friends, family, mortgage, driving license, GCSEs. What you've accumulated over time. That's Trumpy Trump, or America, I should say. Suddenly, they've got resources. That drill, baby, drill, and all that kind of stuff. They've sorted out Venezuela, deal there, and sorted that. They've all this kind of shenanigans going on. So this here is their standpoint. Following their intuition, they can see what's happening here. Okay, they're they ain't stupid. They can see what's going on. Knight of Wands. This is all the leaders trying to show their point of action in doing something, sending one lad, one chap, could have been a lady, don't get me wrong, modern world, but from the UK, is really going to show them up. It's really going to... But this is them kind of trying to show, or like virtue signaling. Oh, we're doing something. Oh, bad Trump. Oh, waggy finger. Page of Cups, looking at the possibilities once again, flirting with ideas. Yeah? Notice which way, where the Knight of Wands is galloping towards. Notice where the Death card is looking towards. Yeah? So this is kind of, I would say, High Priestess is, broadly speaking, you and me. We can see this from a mile off. This is so blatant, guys. What on earth are you doing? Because by not calling out Russia and China, they are by, deduction, they approve of Russia and China, primarily China, of what they're doing. And now put that into context that Starmer really wants an embassy, doesn't he, in London, doesn't he? A certain type of embassy. He really wanted to close down that trial of spies. I'm sure that's not connected. And also, he really, really wants to get rid of Chagos, which will only benefit not the Chagos people. Who does that? It's on the tip of my. And they think you're thick. Oh dear, excuse me. I'm going to get coffee early. I'm so sorry. There, let me have a slurp because it feels like there's a tickle. Oh, that was good coffee. Oh, very nice. Very yummy. Apologies for that. So this is, basically Trumpy Trump and America in general holds a majority of the cards. Notice that they're just, I don't know if it's like coupling together, they're going to build up towards an empress, but just mathematically, empress towards like a Knight of Wands, or Knight of Wands towards an emperor. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just like, you're not even the same league. You're a minor arcana compared to a major arcana. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, and your actions and your possibilities and your flirting with ideas and possibly sanctions and blah, 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 and tariffs and it's just like it's just an irritant. Do you know what I mean? It's not a major arcana. Okay. Sun card, happiest card in the deck. In this instance, for the longest time as well, floodlight illuminating the situation. Who's I was gonna mix metaphors there. Which side of their toast is buttered? Do you know what I mean? It's like, which side? And remember, also, Starmer, I don't know if you know this, is going to be out of the country soon. Shocking. I wonder where he's going. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it's almost as if it's all connected somehow. Oh, ponder. Strokey of my chinny chin. I wonder. God, I haven't said that since I was like a kid. Oh, chinny chin, stroking my chin. Oh, hermit. So this is a shot across the bow. This is what they're going to do. Tariffs, blah, 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 and that kind of stuff. Isn't it interesting that Trumpy Trump does tariffs? Oh, bad Trumpy Trump. EU does tariffs. Oh, that's fine. Oh, yeah, that's really clever. Oh, that's what a unique thing to do. Oh, how profound. How did you come up with this concept of, it's ingenious. It's like, come on, get over yourselves, you absolute planks. Anyway, the Hermit card here is that reflection, that beat, that moment. Are we really going to do this kind of thing? That's what it's kind of got that energy of like that. I don't know if I want to do this bungee jump. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know, parachute jump. It feels like it's one of those kind of going out off a ledge kind of thing. Two of Cups. Who are they actually going to have this partnership with? Are they going to commit to where WEF have been saying for quite some time publicly, where they want to go towards realign from America to not Canada, sorry, China. And they've been holding, they hold two I keep saying this because the other one is never reported on. They do one in Davos every year. We know that one. Even though it's just a meeting of like-minded people, everyone seems to turn up and report from it, don't they? Even ITV News stands outside in the snow. For no good reason. No good reason. And then they choose a different Chinese city to do the kind of summer one. And they've been doing that for a couple of, probably a couple of decades now at this point. Because that's where they want to go. Overarching energy, betrayal, sneaky buggers, thieves in the night, seven of swords, underlying energy, taking a mini leap of faith, moving from stormy waters into calmer shores. If it isn't that six of swords, if it isn't a dossier, I'll say that now, if it isn't a dossier of some description or a slideshow, or something of tangible evidence in that respect, it's similar to it. Trumpy Trump, America's, poof, there you go. That's what's going on. Okay? That's what that felt like. And I know that he's not going to back down. Because why would he? Look at this, okay? You and I and America... High Priestess, Major Arcana. Empress, Major Arcana. Sun card, Major Arcana. Two of Cups, all right, we're clubbing together, or a new partnership, let's review this and all that kind of stuff. The only two Major Arcana for this new coalition of the willing, or whatever it's now called, Death, their determination. Okay, with the Chariot, the two. So the Death card here, their desperation to go into this new world order they keep on bashing on about. Chariot here, the determination to do it. But, and the Hermit. The squeaky bum time, it feels like, of like, oh dear. Their actual actions, whimsical in comparison. Just like, nah. Technical term. Yeah. So let's go into the gossip of the reading, which is all about the energies surrounding all this. But yeah, it's and I was tweeting out about this over the weekend and stuff like that. If the EU like clubbing together was the answer, was the way to go forward. This the kind of like block of countries clubbing together continually, that kind of stuff, with many laws and all that kind of thing. If that was like the future, then you would assume, or maybe I'm wrong, but you would assume it would be a bastion of light and success. And, economically, they would be pretty good. And there'd be a lot of things you could point to of like, it's pretty good over here, guys. France and Germany are worse than us economically. And they're in the EU. Okay. They're also spending the most money on the EU. But you know what I mean? It's like them two are in and they're worse than us, which is saying something because Reeves is crap. That's really saying something. And then it's like all the other stuff of madness and craziness and kind of like freedom bollards around, or whatever they're called, around, Christmas markets and things, and armed police walking around and all that kind of stuff. But that's a bastion of light, supposedly. That's how it's supposed to be. It's not a bug, it's a feature. What are you talking about? But yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong down below in the comments. But surely there would be evidence. There would actually be, that would be kind of like they'd all be singing around, singing Kumbaya or whatever in the evenings, and kind of this utopia of place. One more. Okay. There we go. High Priestess. Trains or transport? Well, it is transport. It's ships, submarines, that kind of thing. Kind of moving around up there, up north. And, we need to resolve it. High Priestess, our intuition about it, that kind of thing. Fair enough. Death card. Oh, they're so disappointed. Oh, Trump bad. Waggy finger. Trump bad. We miss old Billy Biden. We got away with a lot. So, yeah, disappointing outcome. So they're they're throwing their toys out the pram kind of thing and trying to do their own. Seven of Cups. They think they should act now, hence why the day, kind of the brainstorming, that kind of stuff. Chariot. Mainstream news. Yes, it is mainstream news. Yes. Not completely. It's a majority of it. The Empress. The shake-up. Yes. Standing their ground. Knight of Wands. This is the new legislation, new rules, new possibilities, new opportunities, blah, blah, blah. We need to lock this down, blah, blah, blah. Page of Cups. Isn't it interesting, the Page of Cups, where you're flirting with ideas and that kind of thing, is the politicians, the governments, all against Trump, shaking it up. Yeah? My favourite one of all this is that, Trump hates NATO. Oh, he hates it. He's just asked you to all to pay up. And not only just commit to it, just actually spend money towards it. What you keep saying you're going to do. More resources, surely stronger NATO. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's wrong, isn't it? Surely, more resources, less strong NATO? What would I know? Sun card. Imprisoned, detained. This is that floodlight illuminating the things. So this policies here is basically them wanting to realign. This is the process. This is what we're going to do. We're doing that. We know what's going on, but we're only going to tell people a certain amount of stuff. And now they're being shown up and detained. They've been locked down. Okay? They're disappointed and they're now being locked down. Hermit. They need some help. Yes, they all need some help. Yes. This is fascinating. How this is all working here. Two of Cups. Shadow Ruler. Didn't I say WEF? Alphabet Spaghetti. Yeah? Remember, isn't it interesting that a majority of the time, the people that cause the problems are suddenly the people with the answers? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that convenient, really? Let's be honest. Overarching energy, celebration, success. Exactly. So many people are involved in this. And over the weekend, it was announced that, what's his name? Farage. Good old boy Nige. That's his nickname. Good old boy Nige is going to WEF, even though he said he never would, type thing. And the first time I read it, it's like, if that's true, that's what? What's he doing? He's taking all the riffraff from the Tories. And now he's going, what's he doing? And then I thought to myself, hold on a minute, Trump's going, isn't he? Trump, that's good. I would love to. I'm looking forward to seeing the videos of all this. So maybe that could be a nice little opportunity to kind of do possibly two fingers to this whole elite kind of like WEF, think they know best, blah 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 thing. Because I've seen the Argentinian bloke, the bloke with the big hair. I can't remember his name off the top of my head again. Bloody hell! There's too many characters. But he was slamming them, and it's like, if there's anything, like if Farage and good old Nige and Trumpy Trump do anything remotely similar, just get your popcorn, just get it ready. This could be rather interesting and entertaining. So, They're calling for more help. Okay, they're calling for support. An interesting development as well is Alberta, I believe it is, which is a province, I think it's called, in Canada. I think, is it a province? No, it's not a state, is it? It is a province. Anyway, a region of land, a county in, were queuing. Quite a lot of reports over the weekend. Quite like hundreds of people were queuing to sign a petition to have a referendum on becoming independent. So, and they were like queuing up in like snow up to your nip-nips. Hordes of them to sign a petition. That's the same weekend as Cheney is, or whatever his name is. Is it Cheney or China? Anyway. Part of the club, ex-Bank of England governor who screwed us up big time during the 2008 blip. Yeah. So when he signed up to China, we align much more with China, blah, 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 blah. Next day, they're signing a petition to get out of Canada and to become the 51st state. They want to become the 51st state of America. Oh, dear. Now, that would be an interesting development. So, let's have a butcher's here. No clear answers. Sometimes that's a difficult decision, but this is coming across as no clear answers. We know what we want to do, but we need to kind of work this out. This still feels like, it feels like both sides, actually. I was going to say that feels like Trump still, or his ilk, kind of remaining over this side, but it feels as if, it feels it's both sides. It's almost like, check. Who's going to go next? Disappointing outcome. It's a nightmare for them. Have to act now. Justice. That doesn't feel as if it's more cause and effect than legal. If you're new here, I go through buzzwords in my mind and how they resonate. So it's like the first, is this legal? Nah. And all that, like cause and effect, blah, blah, blah. The legal thing was like the second or third I went to. And the response, there was no kind of like resonance. It was like, and then I got the downloaders. They technically haven't got a law for this. They're trying to get a law for it. They're trying to look for like a caveat, but legally, Trump is on the up and up. And they hate it. Oh, look what I found. Cheers, my dear. So, mainstream news. Burdened. This is happening a lot recently around the world. They kind of like go all in on the narrative and of whatever country they're on and that kind of stuff. The perfect case study is, I keep saying this, is look at Minnesota and what Waltz is doing. Don't get distracted about the riots and things, which are from the left, that's why they're doing the usual, mainly peaceful. It's like, they're burning the place down. How is that mainly peaceful? However, the media over there, it's like CNN being called out for manipulating what's actually been going on with the childcare centres and things like that. How has something like $700 million left America via the airport and no one stopped it from happening? All that kind of stuff. It's that kind of thing. The media being called out, being their own worst enemy. That's what that feels like. Because it's blatantly untrue. Blatantly untrue. Bias. Earthquake shake-up. Hierophant rules and regulations. This is what I'm on about. He is being a cheeky bugger and using to the law what they're supposed to be doing. And that's why it's like, what do we do? What do we do? Right, I'm going to put the coffee back. Sorry, my throat just keeps... It's like, you know when there's something tickling down there and it's like, maybe I'll just have a slap of coffee and that'll go away. No. But yeah, the Hierophant, this is obviously can be belief structure, that kind of stuff as well. But primarily, I'm getting here kind of the rules of the game. Over here, cause and effect, and there's technically not a law against this. Okay, there's no international treaty about this shenanigans. He's literally ticking all the boxes. There's nothing technically we can do about it. Hence the new rules, the new policies, the new regulations, that kind of stuff. Hence the plotting, planning, scheming. Bearing in mind, keep this in mind, they're trying to find and will start writing through the usual alphabet spaghetti shenanigans, UN, EU, blah, 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 policies to prevent Trump from doing this. Bearing in mind, they all seem to be realigning with, I think, without the consent of their populations with another country. Moving along to another place, another thing. If you really want to kind of go down the whole kind of conspiracy, and this genuinely is a good, that's good stuff, man. Conspiracy theory. If you wanted to align with a new way of doing it, a new world order, as they keep talking about in speeches very recently, then, if anything, you would possibly want to realign with that new... So, for new policies, I don't know. Let's just pull one out my flappy bot. I don't know, like digital ID, right? Does that align with Western values like American freedoms, liberties, that kind of thing, or does that realign with China's value? I'm going to rub my chin again. Oh, I wonder what this is. Just saying. So this is the plotting, planning, scheming on them trying to lock this down, because this is an absolute nightmare, because he genuinely is in the right in this respect of law and order and that kind of stuff. Politicians, government. Oh, backhanders. See, I'm being drawn up here with the media. Just spin this. Keep spinning it. Here's the bad guy. Here's the evil one. Bearing in mind all the solar panels that they're all this lot and Miliband and all that kind of stuff love and, rub their nips over at very exciting times, are all primarily produced with slave labour. The batteries are the lithium and stuff like that is mined by child labour. But they're the nice guys. So yeah, this feels like a backhander. This feels like a deal. This doesn't feel like generosity or a balanced give and take in kind of if this is the boss, this is the employee, an exchange of value. Yeah, that doesn't feel like that. This feels like a bribe. This feels like a backhander. Imprisoned, detained. There we go. 11/11. Happy home. Celebrations. Make a wish. This here could also be a marriage with the Two of Cups down here, a new realignment of that kind of thing. But this 11/11, Four of Wands, very much feels like, with this check up here, it's like happy, joy for America, that kind of stuff. The more successful that America becomes, I'll say this is what I'm getting from these two specifically. The more successful America becomes with the economy, they're growing at what, 4.5, 4%, 5%, something like that. I don't know, somewhere along there. And we're celebrating over here with 0.4, was it, percent growth in November that was released. The more successful, and I said this in a previous prediction reading yonks ago, the more and more people will be comparing Trumpy Trump and America to where they are in the world. And it's happening even now. Yeah, they're fine. Wish coming true on this side though, so the bribery does win. This payoff does happen here. They might get the legislation they need, new foundation. So yeah. So there's going to be some new kind of developments. Oh, we need a treaty. We needed this, and we're going to sign up to this, that, and the other. There was one thing that and I feel like it's a nice little asterisk here. I was reviewing. Who was it? I watch multiple different sides of media and that kind of thing, trying to keep out of an echo chamber. Jacob Rees-Mogg, actually, he's got a YouTube channel of all people, and he does these little kind of talks and things like that. And his latest one about this situation about Greenland and stuff, he thinks it's wrong, which is fair enough. You do you, boo. However, and he also doesn't talk about Russia or China's influence in this whole thing. But you do you, boo. But the one thing that he does subtly bring in to conversation and then briskly move on from is that in the treaty of whatever of ownership of Greenland and stuff like that, Denmark is number one. They do have it and that kind of stuff. However, and I've never heard of this before, excuse me, and I do wonder what other treaties we are also involved in this respect, is that if Denmark pulls out, Greenland then becomes ours, as in British, as in United Kingdom. We somehow have got a claim over it, which I didn't know we ever did. I've never heard of that before. And yeah, he like I said, he throws it in there and he just moves on. I'm like, what? Can I have a citation of that, please? Can we find out more information about that? I only watched it just before doing this. So, Emperor, who's actually got the authority here? Yeah? Emperor. And remember, we've got, so far over here, we've got Empress, we've got Hierophant, and now we've got, like I keep on saying, Major Arcana. Trumpy Trump literally holds all the cards. Love him or hate him, I really don't care. He owns all the cards. He's holding them all, right? Everybody else, apart from over here, are pretty much flunkies. Notice how pitiful. Apart from the death, we're moving on into a new world order towards China, even though our population don't know it. Determination, doubling down, we must do this, blah, 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 because it's the way, we're all part of Fabian society or whatever way you want to call it. Justice was the only other one, wasn't it? And Hermit. Reflection. Are we really going to do this? We need to cause and effect, but we need to also, we haven't got the law. We need to build the law. Wish coming true. We've got the law, the new foundations of the law, treaty, blah, blah, blah. They're all whimsical. Yeah. Underlying energy, Chariot, determination. Both sides are determined. It's almost as if it's almost as if the energy that I'm getting is that it's like a Venezuela all over again. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in such a blinding move, one move to do kind of multitude of situations. Because we talked about the countries that the Americans are now referring to as CRINC, which is still a ridiculous name. I do not approve, which is China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. Venezuela was in that kind of ilk. By doing Venezuela, a multitude of kind of that web fell apart. Same with Iran right now. It suddenly fell apart. Now, Trump is now doing Greenland because of, as we've talked before, don't need to repeat it, but it's that sort of situation where they no one saw this happening. And I feel like the more they flap about it is to compensate for the fact they didn't see it coming. And there's also talk about, I think, Iceland, whether or not Iceland is going to have a referendum, or the referendum's coming up in a year or two or something, about whether or not to joining the EU. I think that timing is a very interesting to keep an eye on as well. Something I picked up on Twitter that I hadn't even thought about. I didn't even realize it's that but it's interesting that whole region up there that never seems to be talked about all of a sudden is center of attention. Yeah, it's just fascinating. So the chariot card is the doubling down determination, I think, to match this burden here. That's why this burden with the chariot underneath, it feels like it's a counterclaim. It's a counter slap down. And the real win, Emperor. Yeah? Over here with Trump. Love him or hate him and his ilk, they're going to do it. There's going to be new foundations, but they're not going to be able to... They do not apply now, if you get me. It's like, what are you going to do? Now, if this turned into like the troubling situation, before we get into the Kipper deck, could be that you could say, well, Trump and Americans get emboldened by this, and then turn into the nightmare that they foresee, or try and spinning into being, manifesting through their EU, UK, WEF, kind of NATO, kind of reeling and grasping at pearls and all that kind of virtue signaling crap. And that may be, I'm not sensing it. That may eventually happen, but it's not happening now. Yeah. It's just not happening. So, yeah. Let me, let's have a look here. Where's this, what's going to happen? Where's this going? Notice throughout this whole reading also, Greenland is nowhere to be seen. Denmark's involved in this. This, like I said, WEF, EU, alphabet spaghetti, blah, 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 right? Greenland and the Greenlandic people, nowhere to be seen. No, they're not even on the map of this reading. So sorry to say. It's like, so even the nice guys, oh, but we're the nice guys. Even they don't give a crap. They're saying it, but they don't give a crap. They're not even thinking about it, not even talking about it. It's a much bigger shenanigans going on here. So, expectation. Wealthy man, family room. That's Davos. What's behind closed doors, blah, 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 stays behind closed doors kind of thing. Yeah? Expectation feels as if it's this celebration down here, the Four of Wands. They get a wish come true, i.e. they now get the treaty that now will stop him doing this in the future, kind of malarkey, or that kind of thing, but he's won, right? Wealthy man, Trumpy Trump, yeah? I've been told two more. Death. We started off with death, finish with death. Woman. This mature woman feels like how do I explain it? Okay, conspiracy theory. That's good stuff, man. Right. Their expectation is the realignment to China. Okay. This has been on the cards. This has been on the cards for decades. WEF, remember, Stuttery Starmer prefers Davos to Westminster, all that kind of stuff. They're all signed up to it, okay? So their expectation is that the downfall of the American dollar, and everyone bases it on the yen, okay? And realignment in that respect. The problem is, for the first time in history, because it's happened multiple times before, okay, like the British Empire, the pound, everyone was using the pound as the reserve currency, as it were, and then as we diminished, America was already on the up and up, and that's why they then moved to the dollar, and they're going to redo it and go from the dollar to the yen. The problem is, yen is crippling. Madness is ensuing in China. Okay, so the dollar was going down before Trumpy Trump got involved. Dollar's now going up. Yen is stagnating at if I'm being kind, and has been for quite some time. And so their preparation to actually slip across is suddenly we're in this weird kind of grey area, but the expectation going across to the New World Order, right? What they keep referring to as. But this is over. Yeah, we started off with the death card: rebirth, reborn, renewal, restart, re-go, to China. But it's at the moment dead. Okay, because this is the plan. The mature woman, it's like the old guard going into the new guard. Yeah, this is the plan. Been designed and decided behind closed doors. In Davos, people signed up to it and all that kind of stuff. Yeah? And it's all surrounding Trumpy Trump in the middle. Okay? And this here is a weird kind of, because it's like in the Kipper deck, the coffin card is death, full stop. In tarot, the way I read it, it can go either way. It's either full stop death, or it's rebirth, reborn, renewal, restart. Yeah. So this is the they wanted to go across there. Now suddenly they're scuppered. Their timeline is ruined because Trumpy Trump is showing them up. Yeah. Overarching energy, poverty. Yeah, underlying energy, innocence. So while they're all doing all this malarkey, you and I, innocent bystanders, isn't that the truth? Yeah. Okay. This is pretty cool. Right, I'm gonna do this again. I don't care. I quite like it. So if you wanted to know what's going on with Greenland, they're going to create new. We've discussed it, right? But I'm going to go become nosy now. All right. So you can leave now. It's absolutely fine. Thank you very much for joining us and all that jazz. The rest of us who are nosy sausages, we're going to find out what we need to prepare for and that kind of thing with the upside down deck. Okay. Is there anything that we need to prepare for? What should we be prepared for the greatest good for all concerned? Think. I like this. I like adding this at the end. Just for the fun of it, you know. What should we prepare for? Queen of Pentacles, look after her. You know, we have to be mumsy. Yeah. What do we need to prepare for for this situation? What do we need to prepare for? Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Talk amongst yourselves for a bit. Da-ba-da-ba-da. Let's have a look here. Nothing's flipped up yet. Wow. Overarching energy. This is not our fight. 5 of Wands in reverse. Okay? This is not our fight. This is in no way, shape, or form. It's got, even though it affects us, we're out. We're out in the cold. They're trying to spin us almost like to approve them wasting their time and resources. Them, Stuttery underline, whatever her name is, and everybody else, right? They're trying to whip us up into a frenzy. It's not our fight. This is all about ideology. Justice in reverse. Wow. This is so unfair. Yeah. Justice in reverse. Interesting, isn't it? They're more interested about trying to lock down not Stuttery Star. They should. In my humor. Just lots of questionable things. They're more interested in cause and effect, trying to lock up and lock down Trump and America. But the justice in reverse here, yeah, it's just completely unfair. It's just like, what on earth are you guys doing? You're talking crap. 2 of Wands in reverse. We should be, and it's understandable that we're fearing the unknown here. We're worrying about the unknown, what's going on. Queen of Swords, because no one's telling us anything, that what's really going on here. And so we're going to feel trapped. The more we can disconnect ourselves. I know this is me flapping my face, saying what I've been saying all this time. But it's true. From what I'm getting from the 8 of Swords, it's the confirmation, as it were, that the more we can take back control of, okay, our food production. I'm not saying everything, right? I'm not saying the good life kind of everything, blah, 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 butcher your own pigs and all that kind of stuff. But as much as you can bring back under your control, as much as you can bring back under your control the production of energy. To just remove the madness of Miliband out of your life. Yeah? That kind of thing. The more controls you can bring back, the less trapped you'll feel. Okay? Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Because then it doesn't matter if they're telling the truth or not. Or getting their data, information. They can spin you, me, everybody a yarn, because it doesn't matter, because you're releasing yourself from it. The more you've released yourself, the more cool you are. If you get me, chilled, relaxed, you are. Okay? I would say that, let's have a look here. Page of Pentacles. Okay. That's where do you want to go, manifesting, that kind of thing. Where do you want to plant, thinking about where do you want to plant your seed of opportunity kind of thing. That's what it felt like. That's the next step. But it is interesting to me that These are the same people, you know, Stama, EU, NATO, blah, 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 people, right? Who signed a deal last week, wasn't it? Or the week before? The coalition of the willing. All dependent on Trump fixing Ukraine and Russia because they can't do it. Okay. And so they think they can then basically betray, backstab Trump about Greenland. Okay. When he's been remarkably consistent about across all different things. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one. An interesting situation. So what we need to know, it's unfair. We need to get a plan. We're not going to be told the truth. We're going to be in grays, like in the darkness, as it were. It's going to be lies, manipulation, that kind of thing. And all we need to do is try and, you know, all we need to do, I get it. But what we need to focus on, all we need to focus on is what I meant to say, is unburdening ourselves. Yeah, releasing ourselves. Yeah, instead of being, and I don't mean this in a patronizing way at all. I'm just trying to illustrate it to inspire you. Yeah, instead of we're not a victim to stuttery Starmer. Okay, is a numpty, but instead feeling trapped. Instead, we should invest that energy into becoming enlightened from him. Okay? Right. So, I hope that resonates with people. I hope that, puts it into context and that kind of thing. It's easily to be distracted. I get it. It's too easy, but it's not our fight. This is if anything, this is a certain measuring contest right now, and the ones that are trying to go against Trump they're not, it's not going well. And he's an old man, right? So he's more dingle dangles than anything in particular. But it's so he's like proper kind of pendulum kind of situation, and they're still not beating him, right? On a measuring stick kind of situation. So ground yourself, like meditate. There's the live stream. It's always there on the channel. As and when you need it, just pop in and breathe along with the music. It'll bring you back to refocus on like untrapping yourself. Okay? But I think we're going to leave this here for now. Okay? So until next time, where we do this crazy shenanigans all over again, take care. Look after yourself. Be well. And thank you for your company. I'll speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra.